Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? All right. I'm going to just talk about my day real quick. Then we'll get into the topic. Had a beautiful day today. Shopped with my dad. It was great. We went to the stores, got groceries, got everything like that. You dropped like $300 on, products that are necessary for our living. I'm not mad. I appreciate the fact that I can have 4 streams of income to 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 help me with the idea of having produce, having products in the house. It necessitates. That's the word I'm looking for. It necessitates my ability to have the items that are required for our living. So I'm very not thankful. There is no God to be thankful for it, but I'm very aware and very fortunate in the fact that I have this amount of money coming in to do that through vocal, through YouTube, through mainly my Social Security and my VA benefits. So all that combined, you get super, you get captain spending. You should be a producer. You should produce. This is me producing. I'm making a show. I'm creating something from nothing. There would be nothing. This is all something. I mean, I have 10 million subscribers or over 20 billion views or anything like that. Nothing crazy like that. But that's all right. I'll get there one day. It'll be if I'm 78 years old and I still just haven't cracked 1 million viewers yet, then that's just what it is. But I'm gonna keep doing it because I like this. It's having fun. I'm getting paid for it. I can't complain. I won't complain like the gospel song. I won't complain. You know? So just had to give you a little tidbit on that. All right, so into the story. 50 Cent said his stomach was hurt when Terrence Howard said he only got $325,000 an episode on the show, the Fox show Empire, and that hurt his heart. He had previously worked with him on his movie detailing his life, parts of his life called it was named the same title as a debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying. Terrence Howard and 50 Cent were together on that series, on that movie, on that film. So he's reaching out his hand because he's saying, Mary J. Blige got a bag from 50. A lot of the actors, different people that were with him, they got a bag. So it's really great. Michael Rainey Jr., Makai Curtis, Lil Meech, BMF, they're all making millions, okay? And now, Dave Chappelle even made a mention of this, and he about his money issues and his integrity and everything like that in the industry, because it's a cold industry. It's cold. It's cold because it's like you're hot one day and then you're not the next, and you're off by the wayside. That's just how it is. It's what it is. You can't really knock it. It's just part of reality. But what Terrence Howard was mainly stating was that he wasn't getting paid because of racism. It's all alleged. This is his words. Because Kevin Spacey was getting, $500,000 on a streaming service, Netflix, for House of Cards. John Hamm previously, just a few months or during the months when they were shooting, he was getting $500,000 for Mad Men, and that was a cable network. That was before we cut the cord, and it was they were streaming. So Terrence Howard is just wants justice, because it does seem like it's like sour grapes. It seems like he's like saying something like it's obvious, and to a point where it's like, damn, nigga, you making $325,000 an episode. Why are you crying? Why are you whining? What's the problem? You're getting paid. Some people don't even make that in their in years. Some people won't make that for a decade. And you're up here crying for 325 for the money that you're given, and the money you were given for a movie, Hustle and Flow, which was Oscar winning and won it for best song, Hard Out Here for a Pimp. And he went into detail saying that he was on the soundtrack and he was supposed to get residuals for being on the soundtrack as a rapper. However, his name was not included. DJ, the name of the character is on the soundtrack, so they didn't have to pay him royalties or residuals based on that fact. So he's really, griping about that. So what is it? Is it just, a Negro, begging, the white man for pennies and, trying to get it some change? Or should he look for 50 who, changed his whole situation around and is doing very well, excelling as a producer and a showrunner? I think maybe he's not the showrunner, but I know he's definitely a producer. Of the BMF series, the Power series, the Power book, Power, whatever they are. He's getting good money based on those productions. And so for Terrence Howard, to hook up with him, that would probably be a great look. That would be a good look for him, unless he makes his own company. I mean, it's the same thing with Taraji P. Henson. She was literally crying at the fact that she wasn't getting paid as much on that show as well, Empire, when she was Cookie. She wasn't getting that much money. I can't remember her figures. They didn't show the figures in the article I read, and one of the articles I read. But she said she wasn't getting as much money. So it's like, I'm just thinking, is there any possible way? Is there any possible way she according to Fandom Wire, I don't know how believable they are, but according to Fandom Wire, she was making $175,000 per episode. So she was making even less, allegedly, according to Fandom Wire. But this just comes out. This happens every day in the business. There's somebody getting a raw deal right now, signing something. They're not reading. They're not having their lawyers next to them. They're not figuring out what's happening. They're Eduardo Saverin in the Social Network coming over to Mark Zuckerberg. He's wired in. Oh, is he still wired in after he smashes the? Oh, I don't want to give too much away. I'll be giving away the movie if you haven't seen it yet. But it's the blues. This is more blues. It's more blues. It's the blues. It's like you're a celebrity, you're famous, you got riches, you got more money than most people will ever have in their lifetime, and you're still not, satisfied. And to a point, I can see. He said he's a whistleblower. Oh, girl, you a whistleblower. But yeah. So he knows that he's risking his career. Terrence Howard is risking his career going up against one of the biggest, agencies in Hollywood. I think, what is it, CAA? He realizes the fact that he could go under. But I think with the help of 50 Cent showing him, you got to have like a productive mind. You have to have a producer's mind. Those are the people that make the money. The showrunners and the producers and the gatekeepers and the executives, because they're creative too. We have to remember that. The executives, people say, oh, they don't do anything, or they do the worst things. Like they mess up productions. But in reality, without the executives, they don't have a shot. They don't have any show. There's nothing there. They have to create. They have to be creative. They have to think. They have to have the ability to use their mind. That's the gatekeepers and the executives' job. Use their brain to come up with shows. Even when there's writers and actors and directors and all the different crew members, from the best boy to the dollies to the grips to all that, the makeup artists and the hairstylists and even the craft service people, it all comes down to that. It's all everybody using their mind. Again, I think I stressed on this in another show. Everybody, on a lot of shows, but everybody's using their brain Everybody's using their brain to produce, to create, to make. And that's what's make this beautiful. The fact that I have 3 people watching me right now and I have 0 likes, that's a problem. Come on now. Where are my likes? Let's get those likes up. But I get brain from broads. Oh, here we go. Greg S. I was waiting on somebody with money. But Greg S isn't the one. So, but salute to him anyway. And he hasn't brought anybody on. So there goes one. There goes one. All right, there goes one like. Salute to the one like. 3 people watching. I appreciate it. So yeah, so it's just goofy. It's really weird. It's a goofy kind of setup. You know how you have so many people that are clamoring to get onto the big screen and go onto the stage, and but all the difficulty, all the stress, all the disgusting deals and stuff like that, they just gloss over it. It's not going to happen to me, and then it happens to them. So I think that Terrence Howard definitely should hook up with 50 Cent on business. Definitely stand on business with 50 Cent. He's making bags for multiple people involved, and it's a quote unquote cable network. It's streaming. I said maybe I guess it's a streaming because it used to be a cable network. It used to be that, but now it's streaming, and that's a weird thing. That's why they had the strikes last year. The writers and the actors, they had strikes last year because of the fact that people aren't getting paid their due. They aren't getting paid what they deserve. But my question is this: if I can do a YouTube stream and make over $1,000, can't these people that have way more knowledge, way more ideas, way more? Well, I don't know if they have more ideas than I do. I have pretty good ideas, but they have know-how and knowledge in the game. They have actually written for shows, have been had their scripts bought by various companies. It just is weird to me. They can't get on YouTube and make $1 million. They can't have 10 million subscribers. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or is it just because they want to get the benefits? They want to get the bennies. They want to get the pay, but they want to get the bennies because there's no bennies that I know of with YouTube. I'm not getting any health, or dental or any other insurance, Otherwise, just getting on here and cracking the mic and the screen. So that's where I am right now. That's where I am right now. Okay. I think it's because of the bennies and the fact that you get even more royalties and residuals. I don't think you get really residuals on. I mean, you can get stickers, you can get super chats and stuff like that. But I don't know if there's really royalties or residuals on your streams. I don't know. I may be missing something. I missed a day in YouTube class. I skipped school, that YouTube day. But find a way. Maybe that's the only reason why. It's because there's no benefits involved. But there's money. There's definitely money. There's people making $50 million a year on YouTube. Little kids reviewing toys. Now, they're not getting the money, obviously. Their parents are getting the money. But I'm sure, if they have good intentions, they are saving it for their child to when they get to be 18 years old, they'll get their funds. But as it stands now, it's strange. It's a really weird situation to be in. Because, it's not Hollywood. A lot of people think, oh, well, Hollywood, oh, the business, everything. It's not. It's you. You got to, make sure you have the right contracts. Make sure you have your lawyers to look over the fine print, know what you're signing. Otherwise, you're just doing a tap dance for shekels, for coins, for dimes. And that's all you're going to be able to do. So Taraji P. Henson, why don't you boss up? Terrence Howard, boss up. 50 Cent bossed up. I think he has his own production company. I don't know what it's called. Let me make 100% sure. 50 Cent production. What's it called? G-Unit Films and Television Inc. Just as simple as that. I didn't even know it was that simple. But yeah, G-Unit Films and Television Inc. is a production company. So you gotta respect that. You gotta respect it. 50's not playing around. 50 just signed a deal with Fox and has agreement with the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, to produce all these different shows. So that's a great thing. That's a viable situation. I think it's great. I think, you have people like Tyler Perry has his own studio. He uses Hollywood actors, but he's not Hollywood. He's Georgia. He's in Atlanta. And you could criticize him and say, oh, it's, malt liquor for the masses, like my favorite writer, Toure, said once upon a time. But he just wanted to address, the frustration of what people were feeling at the time. He actually interviewed Tyler Perry, and I think they reconciled whatever differences they may have had. But yeah, it's about the money. Let's not forget. It's cute, Oh well, it's about the money. Now, in order to get the money, you have to have great product. You can't just have schlock. I mean, there are schlock, stories and different productions, and they make money, but they shouldn't. The market determines, though. The market determines whatever happens. But like with people like Tyler Perry, he's doing sitcoms, he's doing dramas, he's doing movies, he's doing TV, he's doing all kinds of stuff at one time. Billionaire, billion with a B, billionaire. Oprah, some people call her Mammy. She's doing the damn thing. She's got her own channel. Oprah Winfrey Network. Not to say this is brand new and this is news. I'm just, pointing out the different, power brokers and power players in the game today. And why, Taraji P. Henson should be like Elizabeth Banks. She's got Brownstone Productions, I think, something like that. Let me see. There's another one. Can't think of her name right now. Reese Witherspoon. She has her own production company. Let's see. Hello Sunshine. Media company founded by actors. This is from Wikipedia. Media company founded by actress Reese Witherspoon and Strand Equity founder and managing partner Seth Rodsky in 2016. Pacific Standard, the production company Witherspoon co-founded with Bruno Papandrea in 2012, is now a subsidiary of Hello Sunshine. So she's doing the damn thing. I mean, I can't see why Taraji P. Henson can't boss up. She's smart. She can be smarter than Reese Witherspoon. I don't know. Black woman can be smarter than a white woman. That's possible. I mean, it's very something. It's not impossible. So I just see it as something as helpful to people like Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson. Boss up. Get with a production company or make your own. I'm sure they have enough money to start. $125,000. I remember I heard from Dave Chappelle before. He said, he was talking to the kids at a seminar or something like that, or some kind of assembly, and he was like, "I was making $300,000 a year," and he was like, and that's like a lot of money, but. Every time I think about stuff like that with money, I'm like, but, we could be making like $500,000 or $1 million. I think he was, I think that's how much he was making a year. And then, an episode, it wasn't even anything. And then the DVD came out, and that's when it was like, oh, we got to throw $50 million his way. We got to get this money to him. And it was like, does anybody else know the story? He went to Africa, and he heard before that, he heard a laugh that was, there's a certain kind of laugh you can hear, and you know what it's like. You're like, that didn't sound good, and that pretty much turned him off to the whole Comedy Central thing. And Jon Stewart makes jokes saying like, 50 million a year, like 50 million a year. Were they pay? He was probably getting like 12 to 20 million a year, if that. He might be making 6 or 7. But again, does it seem like whining? Does it seem like they're crying? Oh, I'm getting only $1 million a year. Oh, I'm getting. It's about justice. That's what it's about. It's about getting your just due. If you're supposed to get $1 billion a year, then you're supposed to get $1 billion a year. No matter how, many people may cry and whine and say, oh, but they're the poor, the people that are making less than $20,000 a year. And what about them? What about them? Don't be them. Let them come up in the game some way, especially in America, especially in these United States of America. If you can't find a way to get this money on some level, I checked my account the other day. My net worth is negative $2,000 plus. So, and I'm feeling great. It doesn't take away from my life. It doesn't take away from anything I do. It doesn't take away the money I have. I'm just in the hole for $2,000, over $2,000, because I have credit cards and a lot of debt. But I'm trying to get out of that debt by coming on to this show where people actually pay me to put in a good product. That's what is so important. That's what's so crucial to what is happening. That is what is so real. So it's like Jay-Z said it, on Reasonable Doubt. All blacks got a sports and entertainment until we even. I don't claim to be a black man. I claim to be a man of color, except when it comes to racism. Then I am black. When it's racism, I'm a black man. But otherwise, I'm a man of color who happens to live in America. And I get that from Mr. Troy Star Terrain. So any ideas of how people don't, take to the thought of getting money. That's the whole point. Get the Skrilla. Then you can have, those projects that you want to have, on air or on screens. That's how you do it. You get the money. I sound like, Dire Straits. That's the way. Ain't no way you do it. That's the way you do it. Getting money on the MTV. Yeah, that's funny. That's weird. But no, Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. I don't see. She may have her mouth poked out. They're not giving me my money. I'm not getting paid enough. I can see her bossing up. I can see her Taraji P. Henson Productions. Something, simple as that. And she can employ, all kinds of different females if she wanted. She could have a whole female squad if she wanted. And employ, the best actors and actresses, writers, directors, showrunners, producers. I have 0 people watching me right now. It was up to 4. Now it's at 0. So I had to indicate whenever it gets to 0, that's where we are. But I'm still getting, views. I'm still getting this money. So it's about. And now I'm still, plow forward no matter what. So Terrence Howard and 50 Cent, 50 Cent's, reaching out, he said it hurt his stomach. It hurt him to see how Terrence Howard, who was nominated in the Best Actor category for Hustle and Flow, only got $12,000 for that. I got more than that in a settlement for. I got more than that in 2 settlements. And a settlement for being in the crazy house, being in the puzzle factory, the nut house, the cuckoo's nest, whatever you want to say. the nut hut, the booby trap. I got $23,000 for being in there, tax free, and I got $15,000 for insurance money for totaling my Chevy Silverado SS. So it must hurt. That gotta hurt a little bit. That's gotta hurt a little bit. I understand where he's coming from. I can see what he's saying. But I just don't want them to be, begging the white man for crumbs when they can be making bread, loaves of bread, with people of color if they choose, or other white people, and have the idea of bossing up. Just boss up. Be your own. Do your own thing. That's what's so important. That's what's so great, is that you have the ability to do what you want to do based on what you're doing. I'm gonna say that again. You have the ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you do it. Maybe I messed it up before, but you know what I'm saying. It's like you have the ability to do what you want to do. You have that chance. You have that notion of being your own person, your own boss, and not have to look toward anybody to support you. You support yourself. Because this thing called, people on TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok like that. But that's where you got to be if you're in music, especially. And I guess you can be on there for tutorials, and they got, commercials with people who do ranching and, do, cooking and stuff like that. That's what it all comes down to. So that's the gist of it. That's how you create wealth. You create wealth that way. You make money. That's the key. That's the word of all time, for all time. You make money. You make it. It has to be created. Wealth has to be created before it can be distributed. It has to be produced before it can do anything. Before it can be doled out. Before it can be taken to any other level. That's the important part about realizing that. This is America. All about the dollar. All about the dollar. Let's get this money. No matter what. Let's get paid. That's what I have to say for Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. Especially Terrence Howard. He's, 50 Cent is talking like how he caught wind on the interview, and he took to X to settle it. He said, this is quote, "This shit hurt my stomach to hear Terrence Howard say this. F him." The G Unit head honcho said, quote, "I need the best actors and I'm going to pay them. Taraji P. Henson, you cool with Mary J. Blige? Ask her. She got a big effing bag. GLG, Greenlight Gang, My Young Boys, Michael Rainey Jr., Makai Curtis, Lil Meech BMF are all making millions." Again, I said that before, but I had to restate that. Because there's too much money out here. You got Jay-Z is a billionaire. Rihanna, it's not Rihanna, it's Rihanna. We say Rihanna because of her accent. But she's a billionaire. The artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, he was a billionaire. He's got a few million. So he's getting pulled from Apple. He's getting pulled from Apple's streaming service. But he doesn't care. He's got money. He's got enough money to last him. He's got multiple projects that have garnered millions of albums sold and streamed, billions of streams, so he's not worried about it. So it's just, it all comes down to the dollar. It comes down to the dollar. The dollar represents the mind. That's all the dollar is. It's all about creativity, productiveness, reality, truth, using your brain. That's what it's all about. That's the only thing that is crucial to being a human being. Being someone that is official, certified, bona fide, and qualified to produce and love what you're doing, because making money is all about making great decisions to be in the game and having enough sense to be a producer. Okay. Second half of the show, talking about love. I know Valentine's Day was 2 days ago, but I wasn't out and about. I was at home on my lonely. You know, I don't have a Valentine. She got to find me. I'm too busy with projects. She's gonna have to look for me, look me up. That's the best thing that's gonna happen. But yeah. So you have to realize how important it is to understand what it means to be in love. And I just saw couples today. It struck me as interesting. To just see people. I saw a fat black broad and a fat white dude. They're skipping along with holding hands and stuff. I'm like, they probably had a good Valentine. But I can't see myself, with some booger bear broad. That's what she was. She was a heavy set, funky looking broad, but she was happy. It seems she was skipping along with this white guy. They look like they figured it out, so I can't really knock them. So, and then it's like, and retail, that's another thing I want to talk about too. Retail is such a forward-thinking idea. Everything is like, we're done. Let's keep it moving. It's Valentine's Day. No, it's St. Patrick's Day. No, it's Easter. No, Easter. No. What's next? It's Memorial Day. Well, before that, even in February. It's President's Day. I don't even know what to do. Put up a Lincoln hat and George Washington's clothes. Put something on. It's real quick like that. It passes so quickly. I was in retail for a little while, and I remember that we had those different sales and different ideas of marketing and merchandise. That was really interesting to see. That was something to behold, to really get into, to be a part of. Something to understand. I mean, I remember the SKU unit, the SKU, the units on the barcode and things like that. Understanding what all that means, and seeing what inventory meant, and seeing all that. And I just got a high school education, and I'm just understanding all these different things. And when I went to work for Olive Garden, it was like a brand new world. It was created. It was a brave new world, I guess you could say. It was like there was a protein, amount of protein that you had to account for. If there was a spillage or something like that. I was just like, I'm out of this world. I can't get into this. I gotta get the hell out of here. So that was something that definitely I didn't enjoy. But I did find lust, love, whatever the case may be, when I was working for Starbucks. Young, I talked about it before, but young, beautiful, very slim, trim, and it looks like she's straight from the gym. Little thing, petite thing, she's like 5'4", something like that, 5'3" maybe. And she came to me, and we just hit it off. We were pretty good. We didn't go to the bedroom or anything. That was later. With a snowflake, a beautiful snowflake I had, 2012. But yeah. So that was the understanding I had for that. That was I'm trying to mix love and commerce together. If you haven't realized that I'm trying to paint a picture of stories of people I've seen and things I've heard. Understanding the gist and the idea of people that fall in love, fall out of love, move on, I think it's all in the game. You know, they make billions of dollars. They made billions of dollars in 2 days ago, on the 14th, on Wednesday. They made billions. So we have to recognize that. We have to realize that. That's something that is very keen, very, you have to be aware of. Just the idea of making money and making love. I mean, some people look at it as, mutually exclusive. I think you're going to pay for something. That's what Mr. Troy Star Terrain says. If you're a man in a relationship, you're a straight man like myself, you're going to pay for something for the lady, for a woman, and enjoy it. I gave a young lady flowers one time. I gave, we went to the symphony. We went to an August Wilson play. We had all kinds of fun. We had a good time rolling the hay. If you get my drift, So it was good times, but it all comes down to money. Everything is all money. If you haven't heard this before, hear it from me. And this is borrowed because it's not the full quotation from me. This is borrowed, but I modified it. Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. I'm going to say that again. Money is not everything. It's the only thing. And that's what counts in this world. So you can say, oh, love and, it's all about love and loving and all that. And that sounds gushy and sweet and nice and cozy and comfy. But it's about this dollar. It's about the dollar sign. That's what all this is about. That's what the last story was about. I was talking about Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. It's all about a dollar. I can go a decade and more without a love interest. I can't go a decade or more without money. That's facts. That's why you have to have a pimp mentality. If you're not a pimp, like I'm not a pimp, and I'm not a simp. I'm a man and I'm a Marine. I use pimp tactics, though. I use pimp tactics in my way of communicating with a female. I remember, I paid for certain things, but I didn't pay for everything. If she wanted a cup of coffee and, I didn't want it, I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for a cup of coffee. She had to pay for herself. That's how you got to look at things. Now, if you want to do something, like I want to, I was set to go to the August Wilson play by myself. Then I said, you know what? I'll give her a ticket. We'll go. We'll go as a couple, see this show. Then we'll go to the movies. Then we'll go to the Symphony Orchestra, Boston Symphony Orchestra, and have a great time. Have a great time afterwards. If you get my gist, my drift. You understand? It was all good. It's all good. It's great times. I feel wonderful. I feel excited after thinking about stuff like that makes me excited to make more money, because that's the thing. You can do cooler things. You can if you're Jeff Bezos, if you're Elon Musk, you're buying you're buying boats, you're buying yachts for $200 million. That's somebody's whole net worth. $200 million, and that's amazing net worth. That's an ultra high net worth, as they call it. UHNW. Ultra high net worth. Anybody that makes over $30 million or has a net worth of $30 million is ultra high net worth. So these are like, what do you call people that are really high net worth? Over $30 billion, over $100 billion, over $200 billion. What do you call that? Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. That's another thing. Here we go with, divorce. This is a weird thing. She owns 4% in Amazon and is worth over $40 billion. I'm going to say that again. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, something McKinsey. I'll look it up. Hold on. Hold on, I'm looking for it right now. Mackenzie Scott. Mackenzie Scott is worth $40.6 billion. She just has a 4% stake in Amazon. Could you imagine if she had like a 30% or 20 or 60%? Jesus Christ. That's amazing, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's a dollar. You can be cute all you want with your relationships, and oh, they're my soulmate, and I love them so much and everything. And then divorce, and boom, she's getting $40 billion of whatever you were making. At whatever company you created, she's getting $40 billion out of that. That's just the fact. That's just the reality. And same thing with Bill Gates. They retired. I think Melinda Gates is getting, at least some kind of billions of dollars. I don't know how much she's getting. I'll look it up real quick. Melinda French Gates, I should say. That was her maiden name. I'm seeing how much she's worth. I'm not seeing it, but she's got to be. He's definitely ranked in the 100 most powerful women according to Forbes magazine. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2017, she was 3. 2012, 2016, she was 5. In 2020, and number 6. In 2011, 2018, and 2019. But she's getting money. I know she's got billions herself. She has to. She has to. So that's what's so amazing. After all these huge divorces and billions of dollars at stake. Billions. Not with an M, but a B. B with billions. In this lovely land of America. We got stick up kids, crack rocks, and crackpots, and still say hi, or whatever this nigga said. But you have to still recognize the fact that we have so many things at stake, so many things in reality, so many things in truth that have to come to the light, that have to be realized. And that's the best part of realizing everything in this reality, is that it's love and money. That's the thing. It's like they shouldn't be mutually exclusive. They should be tied, because relationships should function like businesses. And the currency, as Ayn Rand would say, is virtue. You go by your honesty and your integrity, among other virtues, but especially those two, those core bedrock virtues. And when you find a partner, you match those virtues with one another, and you treat each other not like in a sense of, well, you did this for me today, so I have to do this. No, it's not as mechanical and robotic as that. It's just you have an understanding of who they are and what they are about, and they understand who you are and what you are about, and you can function that way. You function as a business, and you just create something out of everything. That's the beauty of this, especially this country of America, where you have the free reign to do whatever the hell you want, as long as you're dedicated to reason, individualism, and capitalism. Those are the hallmarks of what it really means to be a human being. You have those three, main ideals and 3 cardinal virtues or values, reason, purpose, self-esteem. As long as you have those things in place, you're all right. You have every avenue open to you. There's nothing that can stop you but you, in most senses. I mean, people have been, denigrated, decried, destroyed, damaged in so many ways based off of racism, sexism, and any other ism against, LGBTQ, so many different issues, but we're still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to make a way for us to be selfish, to be completely selfish in reality, and to be true to ourselves and what we're about, what this whole idea of being in America and being in the world is about, because you don't have to be in America, but especially in America, because the United States is the greatest political expression of all time. It's the most noble country in human history, no doubt, no question. Of course, we have original sin, slavery, but what the saving grace of America having slavery is the fact that it joins a long list of other societies. Virtually every human society ever devised has used slavery in some capacity or another. So America's not alone. It's just ironic. It's extremely ironic that you have the Declaration of Independence that says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's where it gets goofy, because it's supposed to be like, well, I'm a human being, right? I'm a person. I'm an individual, but I'm a slave. So how does that work? What does that declaration mean to me? That's what the question what Frederick Douglass asked. This is Black History Month. I don't know what the hell that means. I wrote an article on vocal.media. Check me out, Scholar Saunders. Just put in it's Black History Month. And matter of fact, I'm gonna put that in the chat. Like it matters, but it does matter, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So that's the thing. And that's why we had to have the bloodiest war in American history against ourselves, the Civil War. And that's what pretty much wrapped it up. And it's been going on, with Jim Crow laws and different other terrible things that have gone on. But for the most part, we have, freedom and joy and happiness and great, the pursuit of happiness. Actually, you're not guaranteed happiness, but that's just an aspect and a part of it, and something that we have to, realize and lean on. And of course, you can say, this, we need critical race theory and things like that. It's just nonsense and complete, utter, garbage and things like that. We don't need critical race theory because there's already reality. There's truth. If you're being, subjugated, if you're being, decried and looked down upon, that's when you fight. That's when you fight for your own place in life. That's how you become a true individual. You don't say, "Oh, white people are terrible," and have them feel, guilt, and that's the reason why you had a mixed president. Because a lot of people say he was black, but I remember when I was a kid, a little boy. His name was Nate, and he was black and white. And we said, he's not black, he's mixed. So President Obama was mixed. Let's keep that clean and clear. Let's put that to the truth. He was mixed. So you should be able to say, you should state yourself as an individual, not who anybody else says you are. You should be your own man. You should be your own woman, whoever, or non-binary, or whoever the case may be. Whoever you want to be, pick who you want to be, because nobody's gonna do the work for you. You're gonna have to still put in work. I mean, a complete invalid has to be incapable of work. Somebody that's in a coma can't work. But everybody's going to have some kind of way of making a living somehow. And what's beautiful is, I mean, I'm on the dating sites. I'm on Black, which is really part of Plenty of Fish. And it's like a subsidiary, I guess Black is. And, they got people, getting money from people just putting up little graphics on the screen and, that open up. And, it's just, it's like super stamps. What do super stickers, that's what they're like on the dating apps. It's not really about trying to find a love. It's about getting money. It's about getting paid. They get a good, check, good portion of whatever happens. I think this month they're getting 100%. They used to get any other month it's like 50%, 40%, whatever, lower percentage, but you get a full percentage allegedly this month of February. So I think that's a step forward for us, because this internet thing, I'm predicting. Now I could be wrong, but I can predict that the internet will be a great driver, if it hasn't already been a great driver in saying there's less poverty, less poor people, less people on the streets, less homeless people. They'll be able to have greater lives based on what they do on the internet. Get on YouTube, get on TikTok, get on Black, get on different platforms, and get money. That's the point. Get on Vocal, get money. It's quiet. Everybody's like, shh. No, don't talk about that, because that's money. Oh my God, we talking about money? You can't talk about money. That's classless. That's crass. They say all this stuff. Well, it's classless and crass. Eating, out of a dumpster. Eating, cozying up to a blanket in the street alley. That's crass. That's disgusting. That's mean. That's terrible. Not talking about money. Talking about money is the best thing you can do, because then you can start making it. Let's talk about it, and then let's do it. Put things together. That's what's so important. That is very, vital to who and what we are, especially as Americans. That's a great thing. So what we have to do is focus on, the greater and wider aspects of making money, because that's the best part about people that are together in a loving relationship. They're travelers who meet up together and be the best part of themselves and lend themselves to another person who shares the same values, who have virtues. That's key. That is sublime. That is beautiful. That is a great part of being in humanity and seeing where we came from. This isn't the 19th century, which was the best century, according to, Ayn Rand, and for, various reasons. I know America had slavery, but it wasn't as oppressive in the North, even though the North had slaves. Let's not kid ourselves. We often look over the fact that there were over 1,000, and there are thousands of slaves in the North. And New Jersey was the last state to in the North to outlaw slavery. It was the very last state in the North. So we have to realize that. We have to recognize that. But see the fact that we had the fewest amount of wars, despite America's Civil War. It was the fewest amount. It was a great engine for the industrial revolution. It was still going on. The Renaissance had just happened. The Enlightenment was either just happened or still occurring. And you get to the 20th century, and everything just goes to shit. The 20th century was like a mishmash, almost kind of good. If it weren't for Ayn Rand, it would be a complete wash. And other people, Keynes and Milton Friedman and Thomas Sowell, and various other figures, of course. I mean, I'm leaving a lot of people out, but especially Ayn Rand. Because I thought, this for a long time, I was like, man, the 20th century is awesome. We went to the moon. Black people were mainly, freed, and they signed up on different laws. And I was, for the most part, I was like, yeah. And then she hit me in the head. She said, no, the 19th century was the best century of human history. I had to agree with her because it's the facts. Slavery ended in the 19th century for most parts of the world. After the Americans, they said, well, America doesn't have slavery. Well, we can't have slavery. I mean, a few other countries obviously had slavery after America, but There's very few. So, I mean, you have to realize that. You have to recognize that. Those are the facts. But the 21st century can be even better. I want to get to the point where we can say, I'm trying to be the Sherman. I want to be the William Tecumseh Sherman of like spreading philosophy. The way he burned down buildings and completely destroyed and dismantled parts of the South. Broke down telegram wires and made heated up and tied around railroad ties, around trees, and called them Sherman neckties. I want to do that for philosophy. I want to just scorched earth, total war, complete modern warfare, just completely disregard everything just to get to this part where we say this is the end of the war. Because he predicted, he said, you don't know what you're doing. He was saying this to the South. I'm paraphrasing now. You don't know what you're doing. Hardly a ball of yarn can you produce. He said the North can create a steam, a locomotive, and all these different products. What do you have? What do you have to show for yourself? You have nothing, and you're going into this, and there's going to be a lot of death and destruction, and I'm not going to start it, but God damn it if I don't end it. That's basically what he said. I'm paraphrasing like hell, but that's basically what he said, and that's the kind of spirit that I wish to have. Well, I actually have. I don't wish to have it, but I have that. I just need to get on a platform where I can espouse this, where I can let people know about Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectivism, because that's the only thing that will save us. Troy Star Terrain's philosophy of objective hate. These are the only things that will save us. That's it. We don't have much else. I was turned on to her at the age of 19, especially. I was about 17 or 16 when I was really, first heard her voice and first knew about her. But I didn't start till I saw the movie The Fountainhead, and then I read The Virtue of Selfishness, and it just clicked. Everything just clicked and kept going, and I just kept rolling with it. It was a beautiful thing, and that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the point where I can say that I can truly assert myself as an objectivist. That's what I want to do. That's the part of the puzzle that I want to piece together. I want to make sure that that is definite, that is sound, that it's great, that it doesn't have any issues attached to it. That's what I want out of life. That's what I long for. That's what I want to achieve. That's the goal I have. And I'm gonna make it happen because I already made this happen. Over $1,000 in donations. Where did that come from? From me. I had help from Mr. Troy Star Terrain, and I salute him. I thank him. But for the most part, it was all me. If I don't get in front of this camera, this show doesn't happen. It doesn't work. I have 0 people watching me right now. But my rebroadcast, I could have 1 billion. That's the amazing thing. 1 billion people could be watching me in a rebroadcast. Nobody's watching me live. Now, of course, I'm not going to get 1 billion viewers in no time soon. But that's not the driving force. The driving force is to have an understanding of what I am doing and why I'm doing it. I'm trying to make $1, but at the same time, in order to make $1, I have to make sense. Understand? Let me repeat that. In order to make $1, I have to make sense. SENSE and CENTS. I have to make sense of this world. I have to create a viable way of understanding what goes on in this world and how I can lend my own sense of reality to it. Break it down that way. So I am very appreciative. I'm very fortunate to have people that view my show, even if it's not live. I do appreciate everyone that does that. And if it happens to be you, thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you do. And please tell everybody about me, but don't tell anybody about me. If you understand that, that means like tell 4 people, but don't tell 5 people. Let the 5th person say, "Who's that goofy nigga with the black hat and the black shirt and the gold tie? Who is that? What is he about?" Let them wonder, and let that be, part of reality, part of the truth. So I'm still going to do it no matter what, 0 viewers or not. So I thank you all. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.